Alright, so this video is called Disturbing Things from Around the Internet, Volume 13. Alright, it's from a creator, go by the name of Nexpo. He's a gamer or something, you know. He does videos about creepy shit around the internet, but he put it together in a high quality format. Like, the nigga edits be realist, like his documentary style type shit. Like, whoa, how you dig that deep and then layer it to look so produced. But anyway, make sure the kids ain't watching this because it's very disturbing from what I hear. I ain't watched it yet, but I know Nexpo's information and I know his content be a little shit, get you stuck, get you in there like, for real, you feel me? But anyway, with no further ado, here we are. Oh, also make sure if y'all want to support anything, support him at his patreon.com/Nexpo. And for me, make sure you hit that notification bell. Make sure you follow me on all platforms. How that Barskie, here we are. We in there. Let's see. Shit.
What do you do when you find yourself staring into a space? Empty, yet terrifying. It's a phenomenon that's gained widespread attention in the past couple years due to the nature of our ever-evolving world. Things are changing.
Y'all know the back rooms.
Being forgotten,
The Matrix.
and in their wake are derelict spaces that evoke a nostalgic comfort, yet our brains seem to strangely reject them. We feel like we've been there. We associate memories with images that we've never before seen, and for some reason, we become stuck in this trance of eerie fascination. This sensation is caused by liminality, a term deriving from the word liminal, meaning something that's occupying a position at, or on both sides of, a boundary or threshold, something that is within transition. With widespread interest catalyzed by subreddits, forums, and social media, the internet has served as a vehicle for sharing pictures of liminal spaces with others. This has effectively paved the path for various forms of media and online storytelling to capitalize on it, resulting in a myriad of personal stories, creepypastas, and indie games to play on the uncanniness that comes with them. Contrary to this relatively recent rise in online popularity though, liminal spaces are nothing new. In fact, the concept of liminality has always existed among us. We've just never really noticed it.
Creepy. That pool look dirty. That ain't too creepy. That look like Superman N64. That like a school project.
What is it about source maps that unnerve us? Is it the feeling of loneliness? The emptiness that comes with the very purpose of a landscape? Or is it perhaps the fact that we can hear the sounds of other humans carrying out their lives in the distance, yet in our eyes, we're the only ones here? It's a funny feeling that, a feeling of confused anticipation as we await people that will never come. Contrary to the evidence around us, buildings, furniture within a cozy apartment, beer in the fridge, nobody ever will. Throughout the late 90s and into the 2000s, video games were playing on the trope of liminal spaces without even knowing it. Garry's Mod and Silent Hill are two that come to mind immediately, and while Gmod was more of an accidental case,
Gmod is still
was
lit.
a bit more on the nose. Everything about it is interwoven with the very fabric of what makes liminal spaces.
I just learned about
so
Gmod
to
maybe
us.
a year or two ago.
Isolation is always the forefront, with the
Ain't
player
that-
being
oh, no,
left to
that's
explore a town that is years past its
Resident
time.
Evil? No, that's Silent Hill.
Hospitals, foggy streets, a theme park, a subway system, and even an apartment that you're unable to leave. Every single game is stuck in a bizarre state of transition. Nothing is bustling and alive anymore, but you sure as hell aren't in this place alone.
That's probably if you get online today. Ain't nobody online. Them
No
old
Players
games,
Online
PS3.
is a 2019 indie horror game that takes this notion and cranks it up to 10. Everything about it is liminal. We expect the game to be littered with other players. We have the overwhelming sentiment that the space we're currently exploring was, at one time, the home to thousands of multiplayer matches. Yet, we're alone. No players are online but us. And I think this is where most of the lingering dread of a liminal space stems from. The anticipation, the expectation that someone else should be around, as is life. Yet there isn't. It's the foundational rejection of loneliness that's hardwired into our brains, and when this loneliness is portrayed through art and even photos of reality, that is where the uncanniness sets in. You know, autophobia is something inexplicably and terrifyingly unique, and you never really know it until you're in it. At school after hours, at a hotel pool when no one's around, the very last one in a shopping mall. There are so many cases for situations like this, and the beauty of the internet.
Man,
is
when
that
I was
we're
a
able
kid, I
share
used to
pictures
wish I
and
could
stories
get
of spaces
stuck
that
in a mall.
terrify us.
Be like, bro, if my mom didn't know I would stay in the mall and I would eat all this food all night and steal all these toys and stuff and take them home. Nigga, that's a bad dream. You get stuck in the mall, it's gonna be feeling like it's haunted. There's thousands of people don't walk through that motherfucker for the last 20, 30 years, and you the only one in there. And all the stores locked. And you can't even leave the mall. You stuck in the mall, you stuck in the mall. It's locked. Doors no in or out. You feel me? I don't know why kids be wanting to do dumb shit.
Together. Whether it's through gaming or reality, liminal spaces and their play on our natural fear of loneliness are terrifying. And regardless if we ever figure out why they're so eerie, it's irrefutable that they'll always persist in the dark depths of the internet. There's something of a reminder, a memento, a lens into a world that is and will always be
Blockbusters.
nothing but a burning, fading, and ever so distant memory. It's late at night, and cozied up in your room watching creepy YouTube videos. There are seemingly endless, but there is one channel that I'd like to highlight tonight. It's called Floresita Dreams, and at first glance of their channel, we can notice the absurdity with their thumbnails. Their content is just as
Scary.
cryptic and heavily
And it's in
resembles various
Spanish.
ARGs that we've encountered in videos past. It's in Spanish, but that doesn't discount how strange it is. At the end of the day though, you might be wondering, Why are we talking about this tonight? In the midst of scouring for topics to cover, I was sent an email by a person named Joshua. A link to this channel and their explanation of it states the following. After Spanish cartoons broadcasted in Mexico, there used to be a PSA showing missing people with their pictures and info on their last known whereabouts.
Creepy. Mexico, stop doing that. After broadcasting cartoons, Spanish cartoons, one girl that showed up consistently was named Celine Delgado, and her only picture was of a very poor quality, eerie, and her features were very vague.
One girl that showed up consistently was named Celine Delgado, and her only picture was of very poor quality, eerie, and her features were very vague. The actual video is in Spanish, but from what I understand, they suggest that she doesn't actually exist and was artificially made specifically to appear unsettling so people would better remember the broadcast. Interesting. The video in question was uploaded on September 2nd of this year and is titled Cinética del Patrón, Celine Delgado. Let's have a look.
This is Blankos, the free-to-play multiplayer game.
Let's have a look.
Unlock,
And then
earn,
they
and
fuck
sell
you over with an
NFTs
ad.
in-game.
How many commercials y'all think we done seen in our lifetime?
Evento.
Millions,
Selene
billions.
Delgado. Selene Delgado es un patrón de rostros artificiales. Los rostros son construidos artificialmente y simulan ser caras humanas, para generar emociones deseando generar estímulos supernormales.
Whoa, these black folks, that's Tyler Creator.
Los rostros son construidos artificialmente.
Come on now. Manuel. We need to look for this man. What year is this? He definitely got the hairstyle my nephew and them be rocking.
Simulan ser caras humanas.
What that say? Manuel. Mangel.
Para generar
He
emociones
black.
deseando
Hey yo. Mexico. Y'all got, who's this, Michael Myers? How? Service. Yo. How y'all got a whole emoji Lego character that's missing? And y'all think people gonna find him? That's fucked up.
generar estímulos supernormales.
Tyler the Creator. This dude's become a rapper, guys. This was in the 90s. This Tyler the Creator father. It's not funny, but if them people really missing, that's crazy. Why are they doing this? This is disturbing. It's a cat.
Alright, it seems bizarre.
This is disturbing.
They're onto something. At the beginning of the video, Floresita seems to assert the hypothesis that the face
Lord.
of a woman named Celine Delgado, quote, kinetically fits non-human, AI-generated faces using the constant tau. They go forth to explain the uncanny valley and how facial reconstructions cause uneasiness in those that encounter them. Following this, they superimpose various faces with the resulting images off to the right, and among these, Celine's face is shown mashed up with various others. They display a few examples that are, admittedly, eerie, and ultimately argue
Eerie,
that the
scary.
identity of this Celine Delgado is, as Joshua stated,
What the?
artificial. Now, this
That's
is
a
a
minion.
lot to unpack, but considering that it's something that we haven't looked into prior,
It's a
I
minion.
found it worth considering. So, who is Celine Delgado, and how did she become wrapped up in this eerie shroud of urban legend? Throughout the 1990s, there was a TV segment run on Channel 5 in Mexico named Servicio de la Comunidad, or Channel 5 community service.
I was gonna
As Joshua
translate
stated,
that for y'all.
It was a TV spot that ran between children's cartoons in hopes of spreading the word about various missing persons. The segments, contrary to what we're going to discuss later tonight, actually contain voiceovers giving various details and last locations of missing persons. And at first glance, these are mostly tame. When you really look into it though, the eerie nature of these TV spots stems from when you consider how Channel 5 handled the case of just one person, Celine Delgado. Over the years, her face would reportedly pop up in nearly every Servicio de la Comunidad segment, utilizing this exact same low-quality photo. There were times where they give a bit of background info about her, like the fact that she went missing on April 22nd and was just 18 years old.
Selene Delgado López, de 18 años, se extravió el 22 de abril en la delegación Álvaro Obregón.
But what cemented her case into the minds of thousands of people came nearly 30 years later.
30 years, y'all. This shit get deep.
Time for lunch, munch, munch. Time for a munch, crunch, crunch.
Yo. What's going on? He
It
might
goes
whoop
without
your
saying
ass on the
that
game.
The videos you're currently viewing are very obviously works of fiction. They were part of a stunt pulled by Channel 5 on their official Twitter page throughout 2019 and 2020. During this time, they were known to upload obscure, eerie videos to their account, only to delete them just hours later. It was an antic that ultimately catalyzed their rise to the Twitter trending page on numerous occasions, and also drives home the point that this real-world TV channel is not above messing with you.
They on something.
In the midst of
They
these
onto
posts,
something.
though, came one that involved a familiar name. This one. Posted after midnight
Selena.
on the 20th of February 2020, we can clearly make out the name Celine. Given that she was what many presumed to be an actual missing person that was constantly broadcasted on a kids channel over the span of years, it gave birth to a new sort of urban legend that the Floresita Dreams channel was entertaining. The hypothesis that this person is potentially not real. The major argument stems from her missing photo.
Multi-face blender, y'all look
Many
into
have
that. Let me
stated
know what that
online
is.
that it appears common, basic, and fake. This, combined with the lack of any online record that has ever been found about her, has led to a breeding ground of online hearsay, creepypastas, and hoax videos to command the conversation about her. Now, when I stumbled upon this video in my research, I, among many others, had initially assumed that this footage was real.
Why?
Keeping in mind the other hoaxes and pranks that Channel 5 has played on its viewers, combined with the unconventional nature of these broadcasts being played on a kids channel, I didn't doubt that they'd pull a prank like this to make her name stick with you. Ultimately though, as is the case with many works of media online, this too was a hoax. But that doesn't discount the weirdness of this story. The way that Channel 5 has and is handling her name makes it seem like she's nothing but a tall tale. And unfortunately, given the nature of the internet, many have run with this notion. Regarding the real case of Celine Delgado, unfortunately nothing has ever come of it. She has, as far as anyone knows, never been found, and her case has sat that way for decades. Personally, I think Celine Delgado, contrary to the rumors online, is indeed a real person. The argument presented about her having a fake face just doesn't seem plausible. Her image is low quality because it was the 90s.
This nigga gonna trick
The
us.
record likely did exist, but
Set
was
us
never
up.
digitized. The uncanniness of this image would be exponentially higher if this actually were fake, and it just doesn't make sense for a channel to slip a random fake person in their broadcast that would most likely never have been noticed back then. To me, Celine Delgado was a real person with a story that likely never received any sort of closure, and a person that is now forever wrapped up in the realm of urban legend.
Sad. That's sad.
But, of course, that's just my conjecture.
Scary.
From the span of April 8th to April 9th, 2015, a devastating superstorm would wreak havoc on much of the central United States. 27 tornadoes ranging from EF0 to EF4 would touch down within the span of just 36 hours, resulting in immense devastation throughout Kansas, Missouri, Texas, Oklahoma, and Illinois. While most of them were rated as an EF1 or lower, by far the most destructive would impact a small rural town named Fairdale.
Those are some of the
Reaching wind
scariest
speeds of up
weather
to 200 miles per
phenomenons.
hour. This 41-minute storm surge would ultimately become infamous as one of the worst natural disasters to impact the region in nearly 25
Like, come
years.
on, y'all. This the worst.
On the evening of April 9th, an 85-year-old man named Clarence Schultz had just wrapped up dinner with his wife Geraldine. He was in the
Geraldine.
room getting cleaned
She
up
look like her
when
name
she suddenly
Geraldine.
called him back into the kitchen. "Look out the window," she claims. And when he does, Clarence would come face to face with a scene straight out of a nightmare. Immediately, he
Told
heads
y'all.
upstairs to grab supplies while she stays
Scary.
behind. And while up there, he pulls out his cell phone to take a quick video. What he was unaware of, though, was that while taking this footage, the tornado wasn't heading away, but rather straight towards them.
Yo, my man's got the video incorporated at the bottom. Clem Schultz. He not playing. He own this footage. He's being paid right now for us to be entertained by this footage. Sheesh, they block out the sun. He's in the tornado now. Hope he protected. Cause damn. I hope he was covered. You're gonna end up in the Wizard of Oz.
Clarence Schultz didn't make it back to his wife, but thankfully, he did make it out of this alive. Geraldine, however, wasn't quite so lucky.
Whoa.
In the moments following the video, the storm destroyed the Schultz home, and Clarence resultingly found himself caught in a pile of rubble. All of a sudden, it kind of got quiet, he recalls. I asked myself, "Are you dead?" "No, you can't hurt when you're dead." And I hurt. Geraldine Schultz was one of 2 deaths and 11 injuries that were caused by the events from April 9th. The other,
2
a
deaths.
neighbor and longtime friend named Jacqueline Cloza.
These
Cloza
women.
reportedly had a massive fear of spiders, which her daughter claims is why she didn't seek refuge in her own basement. In total, over $19 million in damages.
She said,
were
"Them spiders
reported,
down there,
and
I am
internet
not going
footage
down there. They're gonna
embodies
eat
the
me up."
devastation that was left behind.
Spiders was in hiding.
Thankfully, a storm of this magnitude hasn't struck the area since then. And after a grueling, years-long recovery effort, life in Fairdale is mostly back to normal today. For the residents of this small town, though, the scars from that night.
Could you live in a flatlands like that? Like
while
literally,
the incident in Fairdale is
you
just
know,
one
tornadoes
of hundreds of natural
happen yearly.
disasters that have happened over the years.
And you
The
just
resident stories and the media that accompany them paint a picture that
taking your
is humbling.
chance in that environment.
It takes you there, in a way, conveying the
I don't think
tragedy
I could do
that
it.
nobody could have predicted. Today, Fairdale stands strong. They are a community that banded together, and while a similar storm hasn't happened since then, they remain vigilant in case something like this ever happens again.
Yeah.
What are you reporting?
Yeah, my house is getting robbed right now.
What?
After saving with customized car insurance from Liberty Mutual, I
He
customized
hung up.
everything. Marco's
Mistake.
backpack.
I would have been on that phone like, yo, they're here, pull up. I'm gonna pull the Glock out. Listen, I'm protecting
On
myself.
December 1st, 2019, in
Brrr.
Michigan, a man named Christopher Neal, his wife Haley Coe, and their 2-year-old daughter Charlotte were watching TV at home.
Simp ass nigga. Let me
The
stop.
family had just moved here from North Texas, so they were still getting settled in. All things considered,
How you from
the night
Texas
was
with no
going
gun, bro?
okay, and nothing was out of the ordinary. At around 10 p.m., the three hear a loud noise at the front of the house. It sounds like an intruder, and so Chris heads to investigate while Haley stays behind to call 911. It was at this point when Chris would encounter an unknown man standing near his front door, and immediately, he too calls the authorities. The following audio takes
Get
place
your
the moment the call
dogs.
center answered.
Get your weapons and get some heart. Get them niggas the fuck out your house. Those are the 3 steps.
911.
Dogs
What is
and
location
weapons.
of your emergency?
Get some heart.
Yes,
Get him out your
there's a
house.
man in my house right now.
What is? Hold on. Stop for a second.
What? There's a man in my house.
I need you to give me your address first.
6300 Proctor Avenue.
Is that a house or an apartment?
House at the end of the street. Why are you
Yeah.
in my house, bro? Tell me to talk to him. You don't get speakerphone. Why are you in my house, though?
Sir, how many other people are in your house?
It's me, my wife, and our daughter.
How old is your daughter?
She's 2.
2? Okay. Do you have any idea who he is?
We do go. No. Let my wife.
I
Okay.
I'm not gonna harm you guys. All right, I promise. Shake my hand.
What?
You can go. I'm not gonna harm you.
Where is William at right now?
He's standing next to me in my hallway.
Okay, are we still on speakerphone?
We still are. He's right here.
Okay. William!
Yes, ma'am.
William, okay. Can Christopher and his wife and daughter step outside?
Yeah, I'm not.
Why would you ask him that?
What? They're
She
staying
just
right-
gave him the authority to be in control.
What are you doing in their house?
I told you there. Shots fired.
Where was shots fired at?
Going on Old 37 or Old Kentucky. I'm in about.
What's that?
Yeah, this dispatcher off the chain, y'all.
No, I ain't going
You're
anywhere.
going there with me, man.
Bro,
Turn lay down, please.
William!
Turn lay down.
William!
Yes, ma'am.
What are you trying to have them do?
He's coming in the room with me. That's it.
Why is he going in the room with you?
why are you locking that door? Don't lock that door, bro.
You all right, man? I just gave you my word, man. You straight.
I get what you're saying, but you got 2 guns, bro.
You're safe.
You got 2 guns?
Stop trying to play crazy, man.
I'm not doing anything.
William!
I'm in my house, man.
I'm sorry, man.
William, listen to me.
Why are you here in the first place?
William,
Yo.
can you listen to me?
Yes, ma'am.
I need you to put those guns down because I've got officers that want to help you.
She making it
I
worse.
have officers that want to help you and keep you safe. So
Listen. Sounds like this is now They have a hostage situation on their hands. She's giving William, the intruder, too much motherfucking leverage. William, can they leave? No. What you should have said is, William, stay where you are. They're gonna walk out for a second, and me and you are gonna have a conversation. He's gonna put the phone on the ground and back off, and you pick up the phone. She should have narrated exactly what she want him to do. She gave him the authority. He started making demands. At first, he was just saying, "I'm not gonna do it." He was trying to plead his case on what he was there for. After he heard that he had the authority, he put somebody in the room with him. The father. He locked the door. He's waving guns. He's getting sporadic. She now said that I have officers on the way trying to help you. She added another variable to this psycho's brain that time is ticking. Whatever you have to do, you better go ahead and do it before the police get here. Pretty much what she's saying to a crazy person. I don't know. Who hires these people?
I need you to put those guns down.
Watch this. This will probably get worse.
Who are you, man?
I haven't seen none of this shit.
I've got help for you. I need you to put those guns down so that they can get you the help that you need.
I want police here so I can leave.
The police are there, William. The police are there.
No, they're not.
They are there.
He's scared
They're
from
there.
something. He running from somebody.
I've got a lot of deputies there.
Look, man, listen. I'm not harming you, I promise. My word. My life just got threatened, man.
I can hear you, bro.
You understand?
I hear you.
It got threatened last night.
Okay, I get you, bro.
I'm not harming you, or your children, or your wife.
Yo, this town needs training.
William.
Yes.
Hey, this is Joe from the Sheriff's Department. How are you, man?
Glad you bad underneath the door. Don't come through that door.
Okay. We're not going to come through the door, man, but I just want to talk to you and find out what's going on.
Don't come through that door. Slide your badge underneath that door, man.
Well, I'm not even up by
He
the
said
door.
slide your
I'm
badge
outside the
and
house.
gun. He said shit, but he's saying gun.
What's got you all
Meaning
up today, man?
he's meaning gun. They're playing with fire.
Hello? Hello? Is this Christopher?
No, Christopher's dead.
Yo, see?
Contrary to the man's claim,
See?
Chris wasn't dead the moment he said it. Minutes later, though, he would be.
See?
After hearing the gunfire, police forced their way into the home. During their advancement, 3 officers were shot and would sustain non-life-threatening wounds.
What he had a deuce on him?
Hey, what's your name, man? Hey, this is Joe out here, okay? Man, we don't want anything bad to happen. We're not gonna hurt you.
Listen to me, please. Go home. Slide your badge before you reach the door.
Say that again, man?
Once they
Sergeant
charged
gun and
towards the
badge under the
bedroom
door.
that Jones was hiding out in, they'd encounter Neil lying on the floor with the bedroom window ajar. Outside of it was Jones trying to flee. However, his efforts were in vain.
They shot him from the back.
William Jones ultimately faced 19 felony charges and was accused of killing Christopher Neal and wounding 3 officers. He was reportedly well known in surrounding counties as a thief and home invader, and astonishingly, just 5 days prior to the murder, he was released from jail after serving time for a previous offense.
He was
During
known
his
for him a
arraignment,
home invasion.
His defense attorney maintained his innocence, claiming that Jones was running from an attacker that night and ultimately sought refuge in the Neal home. I think the
Killed him,
911
bro.
audio speaks for itself. However, it'll ultimately be up to a jury in his eventual trial.
Eventual.
Since the incident, Haley Coe has given birth to the couple's second child and is now raising them alone. With this, their oldest daughter will be forever scarred by the loss of her dad that night, and their youngest will never know him. Christopher Neal died protecting his family,
That shit give me
protecting his
chills.
family from a lifelong criminal. And no matter if Jones is sentenced to life in prison with justice served, the Neal family will forever have to live on without a husband and without a father.
Fresh from Texas too.
Coverage of a missing persons investigation.
Some of this YT info, this YT content be off the chain. Missing, oh man.
Saturday evening, 1989.
This is crazy. He killed him,
Central
y'all.
and North America are recovering from a recent Category 5 hurricane.
He killed him.
United States President-elect George H.W. Bush is preparing to swear in as the 41st president with just under a week to go. And on Channel 5 up in Chicago, Illinois, an NBC-affiliated news station by the name of WMAQ is wrapping up its nightly programming. In relation to the other two, a news station broadcast keeping up the status quo doesn't seem all that notable or interesting. And to be honest with you, it isn't. Rather, it's what transpired afterwards that's piqued my interest. It's extremely subtle, but after being discovered relatively recently, the footage you're about to watch has opened the door to a mystery that's perplexed a small but growing corner of the internet. Have a look.
This is WMAQ TV, Channel 5, NBC Television in Chicago. We now leave the air and wish you a pleasant good morning.
Joanna Lopez. Reminds me of the first one with Celine.
It's a rarity that something as simple as a missing notice can fill me with such uneasiness. And I think it's because this TV spot is so obscure. This image is incredibly low quality, and there's effectively nothing to complement it. No height, weight, or age. No information about where they were last seen. No family contacts, no investigative progress reports.
Just propaganda.
No voiceover to fill you in. Absolutely nothing. This just exists as a late-night post-broadcast info screen shown at a time when most viewers likely directed their attention elsewhere. All we're left with is the name Joanna Lopez, a poorly lit photo of her face, and a now defunct phone number that's been found to lead to the youth division of the Chicago Police Department. Something about the way this was presented just seems off, and considering the current online discourse about it, I'm not alone in feeling this way.
Welcome to the Wild Wild West. Come on, 2 shots when I hit the jackpot, then I...
How many ads? Billions.
You're watching NBC5, Chicago.
That is very difficult.
2 years later, in 1991, WMAQ would once again wrap up their nightly broadcast. In a strikingly similar and almost random fashion, Joanna's missing notice would be played once more. Considering the blink and you'll miss it nature of the notice this time, it too fell on deaf ears. There was, again, no supporting info about her, no updates that might have cropped up in the prior 2 years, still no age, height, weight, nothing. Just this obscure photo with the word missing plastered on top of it. Given how long it was since the last update, combined with the implied lack of any progress in the search, it was beginning to seem that the chances of finding Joanna were dwindling as the days went by. And to date, not a single other update had ever come of this. Joanna Lopez has presumably never been found.
The internet will definitely wake some shit up. I'm telling you.
In late 2020 and into 2021, Joanna's mysterious missing notice would finally be shared to Reddit. 2 posts are known to have spearheaded the conversation, one by a Luke Inspire and another by a Chris Polygon. While Luke Inspires came first, I wanted to focus on Chris's as this one prompted the most discussion. Simply titled, "The Very Obscure Disappearance of Joanna Lopez." Their post in Unresolved Mysteries outlines most of what we've already touched on so far. They go forth to claim that they have looked through various missing persons resources, however have found absolutely no information about her. Considering this is a subreddit devoted to discussing the unsolved, others quickly chimed in with theories on what they think might have happened. I think she was a runaway and was found pretty quick. Maybe she ran away again in 1991 and they used the same picture. 1989 and 1991 are not that far apart, and if she was in foster care, I doubt they had up-to-date pictures of her. Such a strange case. Wow, this one is strange. I found the number listed here as the Youth Division of the Chicago Police Department. So on the face of it, the number is in fact legit. I don't have the guts to call it, but it's there. Sounds like she escaped some kind of juvenile detention or probation. If it weren't for the reappearance of the photo 2 years later, I'd be inclined to believe that's exactly what happened. But then she was found and returned with her case never having a chance to escalate to federal involvement. The fact that it aired again in 1991, however, makes me think she was never found. And in the pre-internet days, her case simply slipped through the cracks. I hope I'm wrong. Throughout all of these though, one comment stood out among the others. Posted by a Proud Evening Star. They claim the following. Came across this post late last night and it creeped me out so much that I couldn't sleep for a while. It really is so sad to think that a person can slip through the cracks like that and seemingly vanish altogether. I've been scouring the Doe network for unidentified Jane Does in and around the Chicago area all morning, and the only possible case I could find is from 1994, here. I really hope we can find closure on this. My heart breaks for her. Interesting.
Very. You know he finna wake it up. I'm still waiting.
Us with a Jane Doe, 276 UFIL. She was found deceased in an alleyway, naked from the waist down.
These boys do research.
Evidence is tenuous. However, lining up this photo with that of Joanna Lopez, while considering the time and location in which she was found, postulating that this woman is Joanna isn't out of the realm of possibility. I've done some digging on various missing persons from around the time period and have also come up short with results. There are quite a few from around Illinois. However, their dates of discovery don't quite line up with the 2 missing broadcasts. It seems to me that Proud Evening Star has found the most plausible visual match.
Hey yo, some of y'all need to make sure you got pictures, because if you go missing,
but even this,
you don't want the police coming up with clay models of your face or AI shit. Like,
at the end of the day, the case of Joanna Lopez is one that is undoubtedly haunting. Barring how obscure the photo itself is, the lack of information, the visuals that accompanied the broadcast, And the fact that there is virtually no discussion or record about her ever existing aside from this brief video archive online, this case is enveloped in absolute mystery. I implore you to join the discussion in finding this girl, and if you know or remember anything about her, myself and countless others are all ears about it. In the worst case scenario, we won't get anywhere and this mystery will remain. But the best case, reaching any sort of closure, that is what I'm aiming for. The internet harbors a vast abyss of content that is perplexing,
that one
intriguing,
wasn't as disturbing as
and
the
immensely
others.
haunting. A community thriving off sharing derelict areas around the world. An internet urban legend that engulfed the name of someone who has never been found. An unforeseen natural disaster that wreaked havoc on a community. A 911 call in the midst of a home invasion. And a missing persons broadcast that never found a resolution. Thank you so much for tuning in to this special Halloween edition of Disturbing Things from Around the Internet. I hope you all enjoyed this, and if you have any eerie discoveries
that was Halloween edition. Boy, that was me. I wasn't scared.
New tip line or shoot me an email at dtfaisubmissions@gmail.com.
Alright, man, I appreciate y'all for rocking with me though. That's that one. Disturbing Things from Around the Internet, Volume 13. It's about 40 minutes. Appreciate that, you know. We definitely experienced some things. I don't know though, man. The most effed up clip or story from that combination was the home invasion. Like, that shit was engaging. He ain't had to smoke dude like that. Oh shit. Yeah, he ain't had to smoke dude like that. Like, yeah, the empty rooms was weird. And then you had the Celine shit was weird. But the tornado shit was weird too. Rest in peace to dude's wife. But that man who broke in the house and killed the father, that was some fucked up shit. That wasn't cool at all. Like, yo, that was the most disturbing one. But hopefully they find these missing people. You know, hopefully you tune in some more. Hopefully you follow us. Like we've had some followers today. Thank the Lord. Makes me feel good. Makes me remember why I'm doing this, you know. But we're gonna go ahead and end this stream. Of course, we might start one in 10 minutes with another title, but this particular stream, I think we did good with that. Make sure y'all hit the notification bell on all platforms. I am High Def Barskie. Thank you. I'm out of here.